Hello! Today's exciting lesson in electronic resources management is going to be about link resolvers, or how do I get out of this loop, / can I get out of this linking loop? Sometimes the short answer is no. So I'm making this primarily for my coworkers, but if you found it helpful or a good explanation of link resolvers, please feel free to leave something in the comments, because it took me at least 5 years of my job to get this figured out as someone who didn't grow up under a traditional library bibliographic citation analysis. Again, I come from archives, so it's been fun learning all this stuff for the last 10 years. Anyway, my coworker sent me a thing that emphasized the students started in PubMed with this article and is essentially asking me, why am I getting in a loop? And after poking it, I'm like, I think I should just show you. Because what the link resolver is doing is what it does. And unfortunately, I can't fix that. That's the joy of Alma and Primo VE, kids. All right, so we actually have two link resolvers in play here. So we have our libkey nomad one, and we also have nature portfolio and our fallback for full text. So clicking on the first one to nature portfolio sends you to where you would think the record would be based on, the journal information. However, the article is not available, and we discover why relatively soon. But this is not the fun ones I wanted to show you. And so I had to take a little pause there. Ones I wanted to show you are libkey nomad, which gives you access options right here. And that should be a tip-off to all those of you librarians and other people helping students. If your libkey thing says access options, that usually means it's going to redirect you back to your Primo site. And in this case, the link resolver does exactly that. And that's actually, what it's supposed to do, because, again, libkey and Third Iron emphasize a lot of the time that worst case scenario, you will end up back in your discovery layer. But as we can see, this link resolver parsed out an ISSN, two ISSNs, the title of the journal, the year information, and then volume issue. I'm not even quite sure it's got the year right, because I believe it is a much more recent, sorry, flash that back. Yeah, it's 2024, so it didn't even grab the year correctly. And if you look up in the bar here, you see we have the site ID libkey nomad, and you can see that it is attempting to parse the metadata in order to look it up inside Primo. And that's what it does. But as you can see, a little bit, there's bits and pieces, there's a lot of stuff missing, it sends over what it has, and it makes this lovely fake page. And I call it a fake page because it looks like, our version of Primo, but it is not. No, I do not need help. I do need help, but not like that. So you're kind of stuck in this weird loop, which is, again, why I got this question, because you go to Google Scholar, you'll get sent back here. You get ILL, and that's really the only way to get out of this. Now, let's look at the other non-libkey link resolver, and this is actually Alma's, oh no, never mind, it's showing up as libkey.io, so this does send it through the libkey link resolver, because we had so many fun issues with the Alma one. But as you'll see, even though this one is going through libkey as well, it's actually going to bring back more metadata. And okay, so you can kind of see the difference. We have like 2023, volume 1, pages. In this case, we actually have the right date, 29/1, more pages. This one actually has a DOI, and it's basing all of this, in case you're wondering how it managed to pull all this exciting stuff together, is it actually is just grabbing the PubMed identifier and then a site identifier entry point for PubMed. So it's actually just running the PubMed identifier through libkey nomad, as opposed to running through the link resolver all of this metadata to provide, this sort of generated page. So it's still generating a page, but it's cross-referencing an external resource to bring in more metadata. So also good, better, but you still can't get to it, and you don't really get much of an explanation why. So my coworker did discover that there is like a third option, and I'm gonna just really quickly, hopefully, be able to copy paste this. And if you do search inside, because this is, you know, how we have to parse things when we do broken link reports, you go journal and then go down, which is, if you're troubleshooting, the thing I recommend you do, because going bottom up is often bottom up is often quite interesting. So again, we should have been tipped off by this that it's probably not full text in here. But so if you expand my results, which is essentially telling it that we want index records and not just stuff where we have a full text link. And so you can see this one is being very honest. There's no online access, just like these guys, you know, check for available services, which is its happy way of saying, I don't know. Which is why I told you to sign in, and that's where you would see IOL. But in this case, you see there's no online access from the jump. And the one actual record that exists somewhere is this Central Discovery Index, or CDI record, from Yield ProQuest Miscellaneous Collection, which causes us a lot of problems. And I did the analysis because there is an analysis tool somebody created, thank God, someone who knows coding and not me. And it brought back, you know, like it is a publication that you have active from this, you know, particular database, which is true, but because you have an embargo, this isn't showing up as full text and never will because we have the embargo. So it's behaving like it's supposed to, but it is a bit of like, why is it going in this loop? And again, you can see it's got, you know, links back out. This will jerk you in another loop. Do site actions. So yeah, we've literally gone back to the same front page. Because we have that identifier. So yes, it is a loop. It is not a fun loop, but this is kind of the downside of indexing things that we don't have access to all the time. You know, your save is going to be, unfortunately, InterLibrary Loan. The one upside to doing it from the journal side is we can at least back up a sec. And another one. And of course it's gonna take me like 3 minutes to get itself up to the journal level. Oh, you know what, that's why I'm in the search results. So yeah, you can see up here we have like from 1997, most recent 1 year, so that would give you a tip off that you're not going to be able to find this. And the closest thing you can get to is the journal contents and Browzine, which might also give you a good tip off that you are not going to have the 2024 edition of this. So yeah, new full text unavailable for 1 year from time of publication. So that's also kind of helpful because they Browzine at least puts in a nice big yellow like, hey now, so that you know. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. I wish I could fix it. I wish life was better. I wish embargoes didn't exist sometimes, but that is the way of the world, and that's how we troubleshoot that, or, you know, explain to people on video that life stinks sometimes. Anyway, hope you have a better week than I am.